Hey, welcome back to Ask a Monk. Next question comes from BD951, who asks, should one restrict the amount of sleep to a certain amount, or does this occur naturally through the practice? Can you define what a high and luxurious bed is, and what is its alternative? Thanks. Restrict the amount of sleep. Yeah, in a intensive meditation course, it's recommended not to sleep more than 4 hours at night. And the rules that I generally give to people are, it's against the rules to sleep more than 6 hours. But we usually make some leeway for people coming fresh, especially Western people who are not used to this kind of a regime. So, but after a few days, we expect that you get down to not more than 6 hours of sleep, with a preference for 4 or 5 hours, if you can. The reason being for this is that our minds are are not being excited, our minds are not being stressed during the practice. We're in a fairly static state, so we don't need, our bodies and our brains don't need the same amount of rest and recuperation that we might get otherwise, because in fact meditation is a form of rest and recuperation for the body and the brain. So in fact some people will go without sleep, and monks have been known to go without sleep for long periods of time, which is quite a fun thing to do. Yeah, we monks have to find fun things to do as well. One of them is to stay up all night in the forest and practice meditation. But the other question, okay, does this occur naturally through the practice? Yeah, I'd say it does occur naturally. You have to be a little bit strict with yourself, though, because we're very good at waffling. It's like it can go either way. If you force yourself to get up, you'll find, okay, I'm wide awake. If you there's just lie down, then you'll fall back asleep. So you can't just expect it to suddenly come. You have to put the effort in, and you have to push yourself a little bit, give yourself the jump start. Otherwise it won't happen. But generally, definitely through the meditation, the thing is you should listen to what's happening. You'll find yourself waking up early and you think, wow, it's too early, I shouldn't get up. That's ignoring the fact that it is affecting you. The meditation will wake you up early, and in fact you can wake up without an alarm. You say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. You wake up at 4 a.m., that kind of thing. So the important thing is just to remember and to recognize and to follow that. When you wake up, go for it. Practice meditation, or at least sit up in bed and do some sitting meditation. Go wash your face, or whatever. A high and luxurious bed, this is in reference to the 8 precepts for Buddhist meditators. When we do intensive meditation courses, we'll keep 8 rules of conduct. They're based on the first 5 for ordinary life, which is not to kill, not to steal, not to cheat, not to lie, not to take drugs and alcohol. But the number 3 changes to not to total celibacy, having no romantic or sexual engagement or activity. Number 6, 7, and 8. 6 is not to eat in the afternoon or eat outside of the morning hours, so we eat from 6 a.m. till noon, and that's it. Number 7 is not to engage in entertainment on the one side and beautification on the other. And number 8 is to abstain from high and luxurious beds. Really, this basically means anything that's going to support a longer sleep cycle. You want something that is going to allow for the minimum amount of sleep possible. So when I first went to meditate, we had to sleep on a wooden floor with a very thin, cotton-filled mattress. And the only way I couldn't get by, because I normally sleep on my side, I had to learn to sleep on my back because I'm so thin. Otherwise it would, my bone would stick in through to the floor. And that was great because it allows only the minimum amount of sleep. You can sleep on I've slept on concrete, and I knew it was okay because I knew that, when the time comes, my body's going to fall asleep. It doesn't really care about the cold. It doesn't care about the wind. It doesn't care about the hardness. It's going to fall asleep, but it'll get the minimum amount necessary and then wake up. So the alternative should be sleeping on the floor, and even sleeping on the carpet is okay. I think sleeping on cement for any period of time is actually a bad idea, because eventually it'll get through to your lungs, and it can make you sick. So you should have something like plastic or so on between you and the some kind of insulation between you and the stone. Sleeping on a wood floor, but I think carpet is probably the best happy medium. I was talking to someone about how I used to sleep on the wooden floor, and he said, "Bante, the carpet is bad enough," and he thought I was. It was too much for him. It was a lot for him to just be able to sleep on the carpet. So I would suggest that's the best way to go about it. And we only do this. Ordinary people will only do this when they are in an intensive meditation course, or on the quarter moons. So, or the quarters, the half moon and the full moon and the empty moon. So the 4 times of a lunar month, when they will keep these meditative precepts and try to practice meditation once every week on a more intensive level. And so they'll keep these rules. For monks, we keep them. I sleep on the floor every day. I've slept on the floor for a long time, and many monks have come to keep beds, but it's always the first thing that goes out of my room is the bed. It just takes up unnecessary room, and it slows you down in your meditation, because you find yourself easily tipping to the one side of falling back asleep, even when you wake up early. It's so nice and comfortable and warm, and it's cold outside of the bed, and so on. So there's the answer to your question. Thanks for that, and keep practicing.